and welcome back to Crafters Season 1, Episode 7. I am Woofy and today is all about my minigame, or my not so minigame. Where are we right now? Well, currently we're in my creative world because I figured that I could explain what my minigame is here first and where I am at in developing the rules and such so far. So the minigame that I have come up with is called the Elimination Ledger. Your goal is to find other players' name tags and eliminate them from the game by submitting their name tags to the Elimination Ledger. However, there are hidden books throughout the playing area. Some are good and some are bad. These books can help you stay in the game longer or help you eliminate the other players quicker. Either way, players are trying to be the last one standing. So that is what I have so far for the rules and such. I am still working on the fine details as well as what kind of different bonus books that can be hidden around here. Now what we are currently looking at is the general idea of what I want the playing area to look like. You see, players will enter through this way, come through here, and we'll see something along the lines of this, with all these different rooms branching off that side and upstairs, and many different places for the player to find bonus books as well as the name tags, lots of hiding areas, and tricks for them to figure out. So not only have I been planning out this minigame that is not so mini, I have also been gathering the resources to build this on the server. So let's jump back there and start laying this out. Alrighty, so we are back and I've definitely been laying out all of my little wireframes and just like putting some base materials down to see what I like in terms of colors. So I am somebody who in my creative world I'll either build it out fully and then never bring it into a survival world, or I will build basic shapes like what you saw before in colored wool and then try it out here with blocks as I go. So I have just been following out some basic shapes that were laid out before. I've decided to do some copper trims up there and down there. Hopefully they will age, because I think I'd prefer to have the fully aged copper and some slightly aged copper and less of the actual orangey copper. I'd rather it have the blue-green tinge so that it can match the warped stem coming around here. I'm hoping to add some dark prismarine aspects around here too, just to really go with these colors. All of the bits that you see that are actually these stone blocks are probably going to change into something different, and I'm still not too certain on the actual shape of these outlines that are going through to the rooms both sides. This was just kind of an indication to say this is an entrance. So I might play around with some fences and some walls to see how that will look instead. Now some people may look at this entire sort of setup and think that this looks a bit like a mall, which is about right, because I was definitely going for some similar aspects that malls have. Large open areas where you can see everything that the place has to offer. Now this whole point of this game is finding name tags, and each of these rooms are supposed to be some sort of tricky challenge or just somewhere that's really good for hiding the name tags in the books. It's not supposed to be easy to find, but on the other hand, I do want other players to see where each other are. Now, part of the rules I think I'm going to do is so that you cannot pick up your own name tag, because if you pick up your own name tag, then people will not be able to find it and eliminate you. So, imagine if you walk into, let's say, this room here, and you do all the challenges and you look in all of the nooks and crannies and you find your own name tag. You cannot then take your own name tag and then later on you are walking around this area heading to a room or another and you spot another player go into that room, and you already know that that's where your name tag is located. So you can go into one of these other rooms and hopefully find a book that could help you stop them, or potentially protect you from them eliminating you. I have been talking about these books and finding name tags and being able to protect yourself and all that sort of stuff, And some of you might be wondering, how exactly am I going to run this game? Am I going to be using some redstone mechanics? Am I going to be using command blocks? All of that fun things? The answer is, I'm just going to trust that people will do the thing that I've asked them to do. This game relies on player honesty as well as communication. Right now, my challenge is trying to make sure that the game is balanced enough so that people aren't just steamrolling through finding name tags, putting them into the ledger or books and just playing them all at once, and also trying to figure out a communication system where you can say what book you have to me and have that effect on you as you are playing the game without everyone else knowing. But no, I'm still hoping that this game will end up being fun for those who do play it, and that it's fun content for you guys to watch. So I'm going to get back to laying out the roof and stuff. I need to go get my lighting box because I left it back at my base somewhere over there. And I need to actually light up this place before I put the roof and walls on properly. Alright, and we will see you back here when I have done more work. Alrighty, so I have just finished placing all of my placeholder blocks and getting most of the colors and textures that I want in the places that I want them. So check this out. Upstairs we have the dark deep slate going up into copper, glass, copper, dark concrete, a ring of pearlescent frog lights, and then more glass and copper. As you can see, coming upstairs we have white concrete floors and dark prismarine. And I want this to contrast. Coming downstairs we've got the lighter blue-green, we'll come into some lighter colours down here, and we still have copper downstairs, but I think we'll keep this the orangey copper and keep the one up there the nice bluey copper, and we will mix some of the colours that you see up there down here and keep it light down here as well. These stone walls are just placeholders as well, keeping the shape and such. So looking out over here, I can see where I would like to put some details and points of interest, how I would like to make these look better, but I think that'll be something for the next episode alongside making a couple of these rooms. So these rooms, I have got some ideas for some of these rooms. I have 10 rooms to fill, but I've got a couple of ideas already. And one of them I've actually already planned out and I will be putting that in soon. But when I was making and coming up with these ideas for the rooms, I had this thought of, what if a challenge is too hard for somebody? The whole point of this game is for everybody to be able to get name tags, and name tags should be accessible to everybody and anybody, but the issue with that is, if I make it too easy, some people might find them too quickly. And yes, I've been talking about books and how books are supposed to help people slow down others finding name tags or protecting yourself from people finding name tags, but what if it's too difficult? Or what if it's too difficult to complete a challenge to get name tags in books? So how do we go about keeping the game competitive for those that aren't necessarily good at all of these challenges? Now, some challenges will be easier than others and some won't. And I think the variety of challenges will make sure that not one person can be good at all of them. Even if they are, it will take them so long to complete them all that it might be a bit pointless. But in the event of people being too good at the challenges and just storming through everything, I think I need to set a limit on how many name tags and how many books you can carry at one time. Like, for example, you can only carry 2 name tags at one time. That way, you can't just get all of the name tags and put them all in the ledger all at once, eliminating everybody. You must come back and put a name tag in before heading back out for another challenge. This should give people the opportunity to get the name tags for themselves. And the same thing for books. If we put a limit on how many books you can have at one time, perhaps maybe that will encourage some trading. Because if you can only have, let's say, 3 books in your inventory at one time, maybe you can swap with another player or drop one to another player and then go and get a better book for yourself. I don't know, that's just something to think about, I guess, as we go forward. I am super duper excited to be building my minigame and I cannot wait to have people play it. Now, I really want to know some feedback about this minigame. If it doesn't make any sense, if you have any questions, I want to know all about it because that means I can answer them, or just any questions about the rules and what the minigame is all about if I haven't explained it clearly, or if you have any ideas based on what I've told you so far of stuff that I could add into the game or I need to include. Because the more questions asked, the better I can explain it later, because I know exactly how I want this game to go, but it doesn't mean you do. So I'm going to leave this episode here, and I'm going to go away, work on some of the detail bits, what I can bring in here, and hide all the lighting and torch spam so it looks even better. Next time we'll work on the rooms and making this look even more cool.